Well, hello, Harrison Square Church family. We are launching our 2022 campaign to support the church budget, and our theme this year is Wilderness Gratitude. And I just want to talk about that theme a little bit this morning. As a church, we're living this moment in a wilderness period of our common life. The wilderness, of course, in the Bible is a way of describing a landscape that is often arid and barren and dry. But more than that, the wilderness is an in-between place where things are not settled like they once were or like they may be in the future. But normal life and normal living has changed and is changing daily. Today, we know that our old way of being church has shifted 2 years into this global pandemic. And some of that's been hard, some of that's been good, most of it's been new and different, and all of it's been fraught with learning experiences and no shortages of opportunity for grace. But all of it, every step along the journey, has been a wilderness journey. All of it's been in between. In the wilderness, we begin to see, as Israel saw in their own experience, that every day is a gift from God. That our survival is only possible with God's abundance and God's provision, God's manna from heaven given over to Israel.
Walking into a new church is kind of a scary thing when you don't know, what to expect. But the people at Harrison Square Presbyterian Church just were so friendly, and they made us feel at home and wanted and needed and loved. And then after that, we soon found out that they don't just take care of the people in their church, but they really reach out into the community and serve the community and the people of the community. And we just absolutely love it there. We love the sermons, we love the people, and we really do like the outreach to the community.
Well, when we walked in the door, Margaret Burchett was playing the organ, and that just about cinched it for me. And when we listened to the sermon, they were talking about, as Nancy mentioned, all the outreach programs that they have locally. And we're very supportive of things that are done locally, as well as what's done throughout the world with our missionary funds. And then when we heard the pastor speak, we've been quite impressed. And I think that they're leading me personally to become a better Christian because I'm going to that church. So we feel really very much at home there and are looking forward to staying there for a long while.
Especially in the daycare, there's so many reasons to be grateful. The number one for me being the staff and the children. I live and breathe for these kids. I'm so passionate about what I do. And so I think that God put me here for a very specific reason. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'm just really grateful to be here in general, to be the director and to be able to make a change in not only the children's lives, but the staff lives too. But one thing that I wanted to say outside of the daycare is how grateful and thankful I am that the church hosts an abundance pantry. I think that is such a touching program for the community and for staff and our families, because they heavily offer it to our families and our staff. And I think that's wonderful because
I am so thankful just for the people that I've met at Square, and some of them I knew before in other ways, and now I get to see them at church when I walk in, and it's just exciting and just such a nice feeling to see familiar faces and to just know that I have people in my circle at church. And I love that Harrison Square supports the common room and the community that I found there, and just a place to feel seen and safe feels so huge. And now there's some of us that go to church there on Sunday mornings. And so just getting to really expand those relationships and grab lunch after church because we're there together. And then I get to lead Godly Play some Sundays. And that's just been so fun to get to spend time with kids and talk about Jesus with them and what that looks like in their lives. And so that's been just a really special blessing too, to get to be a part of that.
Knowing that there's a food bank here, a food pantry, coming here gives me just, something to do, a sense of purpose. And it gives me just a little bit of pride giving back to the community. Food is a real important thing in my life. And when you're sharing food, you're sharing life. So, the pantry, and there's a group that makes soups now and then that are delicious. And there's Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving dinner. And, these things are really important. And I think.
And so while the wilderness can be a time of immense challenge all throughout the Bible, even more than that, we know this, it can be a period of tremendous gift, where like little Israel, we learn to walk with God in still more transformative and faithful ways. And my contention is that you, Harrison Square, have been immensely faithful in the wilderness. You've given of your time to serve our community this past year. You've given of your treasure to support the mission of our church. You've stepped up and created sometimes technological solutions that were 20 years into the future, and you did it overnight. You've recognized, I think, in a new way that with so many sick and so many hurting, that our time, our treasure, our talents, each day that we have from God is meant to be given back to God's purposes, to above all else making God's kingdom known here and now. In short, you've lived out daily this reality of wilderness gratitude. And thanks to your gratitude in the wilderness, I'm happy to report that despite this pandemic, we ended the 2021 fiscal year in the black, and that is worth celebrating. Your wilderness gratitude, your giving to the church, will allow us to do more mission and outreach directly and to meet more needs in the year ahead. So thank you, Harrison Square, for your pledges, no matter how big or small they are, for your prayer on behalf of our community, for your adaptability. Wilderness living, we know this, it takes all of us being devoted and committed to what is there, and you have all stepped up. And for that, I truly couldn't be more grateful or prouder of our church. Way to go, Harrison Square.